everyone. Welcome to Spiritual Laws of Nature. I'm Dr. Alex Lloyd. And the title for today is, it's either one of two. It's either, do you ever feel like you're not getting anywhere fast? Or it's overcoming fear and doubt. And those two are going to be tied together, as I hope you'll see in just a couple of minutes. But over 30 years of working with people personally, either counseling, therapy, coaching, things like that, and about 23 years doing energy medicine with people. One of the most common things I hear from my clients, from people who are out there who just bought one of my books and they're doing it at home, what I hear so much is, it's not working for me, or how come it's not working right for me, or I don't feel like I'm getting anywhere, or I feel like I'm stuck, or you fill in the blank, okay? And I'm not meaning to minimize that at all. If I was in those people's shoes, I would probably feel the exact same thing. But I do want to talk about today what's behind that and how to overcome it so that you're not stuck, okay? We live in a world of instant, and it's getting even more and more that way. I remember when I was a teenager, I think, and they came out with microwave ovens, and it was just this unbelievable shift from, you've got to turn the oven on, you got to let it have time to heat up, then you've got to put the stuff in, and, and the thing took 20, 30, 40 minutes, whatever it was, to a microwave where you just stick that thing in there. There's not even any moving parts. You push a couple of buttons, and 30 seconds later, you're ready to eat. That was a big paradigm shift all over the world that was kind of at the forefront of, I think, what's ended up with cell phones and internet and everything else these days. But anyway, sometimes we are thinking that we're stuck, or we're thinking that I'm not moving fast enough in error, in my opinion. We live by our feelings. I don't care what anybody says, okay? And I've got the research to back it up. We don't live by logic. We live by our feelings. Now, I don't say we don't apply logic, but basically the way we apply logic is to get as much of the good feelings as I possibly can, and as few of the bad feelings as I possibly can, within the logical parameters of my life without maybe messing everything up. But we live by our feelings. It's just that everybody has different feelings, okay? The guy who buys the red Corvette has the feeling that he wants to feel like a teenager again and all that sort of thing, and the wind in his hair and look cool and have that engine roar. But the guy who buys the Prius, with the glasses and has an engineering job and all that, he's buying on feelings too. It's just the feelings that he is a logical type person, and so he's going to make this decision based on who he is, which he thinks is the better way. But he is still buying it based on the feelings. It makes him feel good to get the car with 60 miles an hour, and part of it's not gas and all of that. So we live by our feelings. The problem with that is the thing called fear. One of our presidents one time in a very critical speech said, we have nothing to fear but fear itself. And in a lot of ways that's true, because fear is the absence of love. And in the presence of love, in our brain, nervous system, body, and mind, we work the way we're supposed to work. In the presence of fear, when there's not a life-threatening emergency, we start to malfunction. So maybe in more ways than that speaker knew, meaning even our emotional health, even our physical health, even our spiritual health, all we have to fear is fear itself. In the early years of the Healing Codes, we had two gentlemen that came for help. and they could not have been any more alike. They were both 45 years old. They had both had migraine headaches for 15 years. That's why they were coming to see me. They were the same ethnicity. I think they were related in some way, like cousins or something. But, any doctor seeing these two guys and what they presented as symptoms would have diagnosed them the same, okay, and given the same treatment, right? Well, when the two gentlemen started the healing codes at the same time, one had his migraines go away and never come back in about 3 weeks, okay? The other one, it took over 13 months. Now, that's a problem if we're living in a, I've got a headache, give me a Tylenol and it's gone in 30 minutes world, okay? And that's where most of us do live, in the world of physical and external circumstances. Seek pleasure and avoid pain. But the path of love is not that path. It is a spiritual path. It is the path of energy. It is the path of anything is possible. It is the path of the present moment in love as best I can, giving up the end results to love, to God, etc. Okay. Well, the two gentlemen that that had the migraine headaches, what was wrong with the guy that took 13 months? How come it took him 13 months? It didn't work as well on him, right? Wrong. They did not have the same problem. They had the same symptom. But the source that those headaches were coming from was vastly different in those two gentlemen. The one who took 3 weeks shook my hand, said, "Thank you so much. Boy, this has made a big difference in my life. See ya. Have a great day." Okay? Which was wonderful. The gentleman that it took 13 months, he was weeping. He said, "You don't understand. This hasn't just healed my migraines. It's healed everything in my life." They did not have the same problem. They did not have the same problem. They only had the same symptom. The sources of their problems were dramatically different. And if you don't want your problem to keep coming back again and again and again and again and again, you have to heal it at the source. No other choice. So, when you're doing the spiritual laws and you're feeling like, I don't feel like I'm progressing a lot, I would ask yourself two things. Number one, have you fully committed in your heart to the path of love? And if not, you have to do that in order to get there. Now, you don't have to do it today. In fact, I wouldn't even rush it. I would get to it as you can. And each day, let your prayer be, I'm not to that place yet, but please help me get there. I want to be totally committed to the path of love, giving up end results, no matter what, for the rest of my life. I want to do that, but I don't feel like I can yet. Keep praying. Keep having your intention every day to get there. And then when you do, make that commitment, make that vow. And you will make mistakes the rest of your life, just like me. You'll never do it perfect. But I believe you will be on that path also for the rest of your life, which means that whatever is best for you is probably exactly what's happening right now. If you have made that commitment, I would almost guarantee you're not stuck. You are right where you're supposed to be. Now, maybe you're slowed down and you're supposed to learn something from where you are right now. Okay, that can happen. But I seriously doubt that you're stuck. When I was doing a lot of testing of people, one of the things I tested, I got this camera. Actually, it wasn't mine. I borrowed it. That took Kirlian energy type pictures, meaning when you took a picture of someone, you could see the energy in and around them, and it would be different colors, and different colors mean different things. Some colors are better than others, okay? And so I would do a healing code on someone. No, I'm sorry. I would take a picture, a Kirlian picture, then I would do a healing code on someone, and then I would take another Kirlian picture, okay? And it was amazing, at least 8 times out of 10. The first one would have little places of dark and not uniform looking energy, maybe kind of gray, sometimes even like black. And then the post would have much lighter colors, many times no dark colors at all, and the energy would go way out further from the body. Okay, so just a night and day difference in their energy. And I would ask those people before they saw the pictures, did you feel any difference? Well, 80 to 90% of every person I did that with said, no, I didn't really feel any difference. About 20% did, but 80% didn't. And then when I showed them the pre-post photograph, they just couldn't believe it. They said, well, golly, that's a huge difference from that. Why didn't I feel that? Some people do. I do. But for most people, they don't feel energy. And that's one of the reasons you can't make a declaration of whether you're always healing or not, stuck or not. Your focus has to be on the present in love. When I tested people with heart rate variability back in those testing days as well, before they started, I would ask people, do you feel stressed today? About 50% would say they did. About 50% would say they didn't. Then they would do a healing code. And after the healing code, over 90% of the people who said they did not feel stressed were in clinical stress. Okay? So these things in the energy world, in the spiritual world, we can't always feel. So what do? You make a decision for the love path. That's the first thing, and there's no substitute for that. Once you're on the love path, you assume that what is happening now here for me is exactly what is supposed to be happening right here for me, because I'm on the love path. And that means that my life from the ground up is rooted in love. My intention, even though I mess up, is love. When I get up in the morning, it's love. When I go to bed at night, it's love. When I'm evaluating situations, my first filter is love and truth. Okay? So if you've made that vow commitment, then that means you're on that path, and I would just consider that what is happening is exactly what should be happening for you. I had a lady come to me who was 53 years old. Her name was Patty Crichton. She gave me permission to share this. And Patty had owned the largest travel agency in the world. I mean, her face was on the cover of trade industry journals and stuff, okay? And she got really sick, severe autoimmune illnesses, to the point that the doctors really couldn't do much for her anymore, and they just kind of sent her home. And she was basically living in a bed sheet in horrible, screaming type pain every day. Why living in a bed sheet? Because she had negative allergic reactions to just about everything that she came into contact with. So when Patty found out about the healing codes and contacted me and we started working, she was very hopeful, but for over, I think it was over a year, she'd been in this situation of living at home in a bed sheet, was losing her business, all that kind of stuff, okay? Well, I started working with Patty with the healing codes, and for 6 months, she got worse and worse and worse. And it was just awful. More for her, but it was awful for me too. Because she would call me almost every day crying. And sometimes she would say, what's wrong with me? Why am I so stuck? How come other people have all these fast results? You know, they see our testimonials or something like that. And I would just try to calm her down. I love you, Patty. I'm gonna go through this with you. You're gonna get through it. I feel like this is part of the healing, and we've got to get through this stuff. Went on for 6 months, and she called me many weeks every day. Okay. By the end of the 6 weeks, I think she was starting to lose hope a little bit. And to be honest, very few people would have stuck this out for 6 weeks. Okay. But she was starting to lose hope a little that this is just not going to happen for me, and I can't take this pain every day anymore. And then I got a phone call from her, maybe 2 or 3 days after that. And I knew it was her, but it sounded like a completely different person. Ladies and gentlemen, the skies had parted, and all of a sudden, everything was healed in Patty. And she felt like she said, I can't say I haven't felt like this since I was 20 or so. Said, I've never felt like this. And now she started calling me, and she would tell me, you'll never guess where I am. I'm rollerblading, or I'm out riding bicycles, or I'm out I'm on a cruise and doing this. She met the love of her life, has had a wonderful life since then, as far as I know, but felt wonderful. Okay? What's the point? The point is, every day, Patty was thinking, I'm stuck. Why am I stuck? Why isn't this working? When the whole time, every single day, it was working powerfully to get her to that wonderful, never felt like this before in my life place. And that's exactly what happened. Okay, then why did Patty feel worse, not better? Well, it's in every kind of health in the world. Mainstream medicine, alternative medicine, all medicine. I call it a healing response. In mainstream medicine, it's called a Herxheimer's reaction. In energy medicine, a lot of people call it a healing crisis. It's that thing where sometimes things feel worse before they feel better on the way to getting better. And that's exactly what happens, not only with energy medicine, but in my experience with choosing the spiritual path of love when you have been on the pain-pleasure path of fear. Here's what happened with Patty. She didn't put it together until later, and then she sent me copies of this. Right before she got really, really sick, she went in and had a physical, and the doctor wrote on her chart, this woman has the highest concentration of heavy metals in her blood that I have ever seen. After the 6 months working with me and that terrible pain every day, and then it stopped, she went back in. The doctor ran the same test, but it was either a different doctor or a technician or something, but they didn't remember her. And they wrote on her chart, this woman has the least concentration of heavy metals I have ever seen. Unbelievable. Well, when mercury and lead and things like that hit your bloodstream from being stored in your bones to try to keep it from harming anything, when it hits your bloodstream, you're going to feel it. And that's what Patty had happening for those 6 months. Not only was she not stuck, not only was she not getting better, she was getting better in a way and to a degree that maybe nothing else on the planet would have done for her. So here's my question. What if 3 months in, she had quit? Like she threatened to many times. Like she cried, I feel like quitting. So many times. And you would too, and I would too, because of the pain. But what if she had quit at 3 months or 5 months or 5 months and 28 days? The day before she was about to have the breakthrough. Well, chances are she never would have got to her wonderful, never felt like this in my life, she never would have gotten there. If you are not living on the path of love, then yes, you can absolutely be stuck. Maybe you are stuck, okay? And I would take steps, energy medicine, checking out these spiritual laws and try to live them. And try to get to a place where you can commit to the spiritual path, love in the present moment. If you are on the path of love in the present moment, it's my belief you are not stuck. And that what is happening to you is exactly what is supposed to, what needs to be happening to you, even if it's extremely painful, to get you to your best possible life. So, those thoughts and feelings of I'm stuck, and turn them into a prayer. Turn them into a prayer. Please take this thought and let me believe the truth. Okay? Let me have positive emotions if they are true or possible. Please transform these negative, I'm stuck beliefs of mine. Please heal this thing that I'm working on to try to heal. Please help me get to the place where I can fully commit to love for the rest of my life. Okay? But don't just let those thoughts go by, and realize that the fear of not getting better may actually be keeping you from getting better. Because that's what fear does. It suppresses your immune system. Very first thing. So maybe all you have and I have to fear is fear itself. So transform your doubt into belief, into what's possible, into love, joy, peace. Thanks so much and have a great day.